Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the step to making some money out of your skill, out of your knowledge, out of what you're going to learn here if you've never had anything to do with anything called Wig Revamp. I really want to apologize to people who were supposed to have gotten this video on the 29th of June, 2023. I am so sorry. I had challenges that were beyond my control. I am so sorry, but hey, I'm gonna make it up to you in this video, okay? Thank you so much again for being here. So let's dive right into it. We're going to be talking about Wig Revamp to Cash. This webinar is to teach you how you can make money out of your craft. And in this case, we're talking about revamping wig. This webinar is divided into 3 different modules. There's module 1, 2, and 3. As we progress, you're going to see what they entail. And yeah, let's move into it. So what's the objective of this webinar? I have one objective for you, which is to teach you how to revamp your old wigs, bring them back to life, and turn it into a profitable business or asset, right? My goal is at the end of this, one thing I want you to really run with is to know that you are able to revamp wigs on your own and you're able to make out money from it. Nice, right? Pretty simple. Okay, so what to expect? This is what I should be giving to you. This is what you should hold me accountable for. So at the end of this video, if I'm not able to put my hands on these 3 things, then nah, you're gonna be like, you know what? It was a waste of my time. But I pray to God that it's not a waste of your time. Instead, it should be so much more than I even put here for you to expect from me. You're going to expect to know how to revamp old wigs using the technique I choose to call DWCTS. We're going to find that out more as we progress in the webinar. We're going to learn how to market and sell in the saturated market space. I mean, if you are here, you obviously know I may have not been the first person who has advertised anything about Wig Revamp, but you decided to be here. So if you are really honest, you would know that there's so many of us in the market. There's plenty people who are into wigs or anything wig, and don't let us not even get started on Wig Revamp or selling of hairs. But then again, you keep wondering why are there so many people and why are people still jumping into it, right? There's something there, and I'm going to tell you all of it, right? So now the next thing you're going to, and the last thing you're going to expect from me as regards to this webinar is how to make your first 100K, okay? Now, let's begin. I love to begin with introductions. So remember when I said our webinar is divided into 3 modules. The module 1 is going to be talking about introduction, definition. What is wig revamp? I know that you may have heard, you've been hearing it, wig revamp, hair laundry. We're going to be defining what they are and what they are not, okay? So under this module 1, you're also going to be understanding the concept of wig revamp, which is basically definitions and, you know, the myths and all of that around wig revamp, importance of revamping your wigs, and the basic tools you're going to be needing to revamp your wigs. Now, this picture here typically shows you what happens between a wig that, you know, has not been revamped and what it looks like, not what happens, what it looks like when it has been revamped. Okay, the picture to my left shows you that this wig needs help. Like it's literally crying and begging for help. Please help me. You revamp your wigs because one, it has a lot of product build up. You know how we always want it to lie down, we want it to be sleek. We apply all of the wax stick on our hair so that it can be flat. You apply hair serums, you apply leave-in conditioners, you know, all of those things. You go out, your hair collects dust, your hair collects sweat from your scalp, you know, and all of those things that happen, man, at the end of the day, if you do not revamp your wigs, honestly, you're going to constantly have headache whenever you put on that wig. If you want to try just the wig you wear every time or from time to time, don't wash it, just wear it like that. You wear the wig every day, wear it like that for 6 months, and tell me if you're not gonna have headache. Like every time you wear the wig, you have headache. That's why as soon as you come back, the first thing you want to do is to remove the wig. I know that sometimes the first thing you want to do is remove the wig because you want to like, you need some fresh air in your body. I know that, right? But most times it's because of the headache. Please, that wig is screaming for help. It needs to feel water. It needs to be revived. So the wig, the picture to my right shows you what a neatly revamped wig looks like. It is as good as new. The whole concept of revamping your wig, if somebody says, I need to have my hair revamped, is that the person wants to be able to take that wig from what it is to what it was before she started using it, right? So the person wants to create an oh my god kind of experience or wow kind of experience from other people. It's always about a feeling, an expression that somebody wants with their wigs, right? They want the feel good syndrome. I hope I'm using that word right, and I hope you are able to understand and flow with me with every. I'm trying to use things that make sense to you and that you can relate with. Okay, so my definition of revamping hair that makes sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you, is that hair revamping simply means restoring, reviving, and bringing back your old weaves, all wigs back to life with the hair looking brand new. So underline these words: restoring, reviving, and back to life. You see, that's the whole idea. That's, excuse me, that's the whole idea, right? You want to revamp you want to wash your clothes because you want to smell fresh. You want it to look good again. You want to be able to wear it tomorrow and still feel new and still feel good, right? It's the same thing for our hairs. So always know that whenever somebody says, hey, I need you to help me with this revamp, like I need to revamp my wig, the person is looking for what? Restoration, revival, and ultimately the person wants that wig to look brand new. Okay, now let me just chip this in before I forget. When I'm revamping my wig, it doesn't necessarily mean that I want the style to go back to how it was in the beginning. Let's say I bought a straight wig, right? I could revamp and say to the person doing the job that, you know what, after this, I want you to change the style. I want it to now be coily, or I want it to have a wavy pattern. I want you to cut it short. I want you to dye it, or I want to change the lace. I want to change the frontal, or any adjustment. The point is the person wants to feel different again. Okay, always understand, it's always about the difference. It's always about how they're feeling about it. That is the ultimate goal of revamping wigs. All right, let's proceed. Basic tools required for wig revamp. Here I listed them: plastic bags, steam cap, bucket slash bowl. In this case, if you have a dedicated sink or you have a sink where you could do your do, that's fine. You don't necessarily need a bucket or bowl, right? Then you need your hair care products, of course, which is your shampoos, conditioners, leave-in conditioners, yada yada yada. You get that, and then you need a detangular hairbrush. This is very important. I will tell you why as we proceed. Module 2, now we've gone into wig revamp techniques. Yay! Like this is the cocoa of everything. I mean, if you get somebody to be able to pay you so much money and you're not able to get the job done, sis, you do not have a business, because they're never going to come back to you. Okay, if they're nice, they're going to tell you this is why. But if you get people, some persons may never tell you this is the reason why, and you just lose them. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at two different two different aspects, which is your wig revamp process and the perma revamp secret technique. Yeah, that's my technique. Okay, so the wig revamp process is the one we all know. Somebody gets, the typical thing is you get your hair or a wig, you wash it, you condition it, you deep condition it, and you style, and you carry the wig and you give to the owner, right? Beautiful, nice. But let me tell you, if you are looking for that silky smooth bone straight texture, this process is not going to give it to you. Let me show you what is going to give it to you. The Perma Revamp Secret Technique, DWCTS. And DWCTS stands for Detangle, Wash, Condition, Treat, and Style. You might think it's common sense that if you get a wig, you should first of all comb it out. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Some people do not have that kind of common sense. And sometimes you are overwhelmed with work that you just feel like, if I put this thing inside water and I put conditioner into it, everything stew. So sorry, that's a Nigerian slang, right? You just feel like if you wash this thing and put inside deep conditioner and you deep condition it, then you just put comb, it should just go straight. It does not happen like that. It does not work. You really need to unknot everything that is knotted in that hair, except the hair is brand new. And then again, you're wondering, why would you be revamping a hair that is brand new, that has never been worn, right? Strange. Great. So if you are revamping a hair that has been worn, my dear, you need to detangle that hair. Like you need to brush it out. And you need a special brush called detangler brush, okay? You need the detangler brush to be able to unknot every knot that is in the wig. Now, if you think that you are so careful, or the person who gave you the wig is such a big woman, or she has people that are always prepping her hair, let me tell you why you need it. You see that neck region in the wig? It always gets in contact with the skin, and you always sweat from your skin, right? So meaning that the sweat and your hair are always going to be, 5 and 6, and it could create knots. So you need to detangle that. If for nothing, you necessarily need to detangle it so that your other processes can be seamless and beautiful. What happens if you don't detangle your wigs is that even if you use a conditioner and you end up combing it and it ends up combing, check it. If you end up having split ends, split ends means you see the hair cutting and falling off the ground, right? And then you just say, this customer, the vendor that sold it to this person sold bad hair to the person. It's not bad hair, darling. It's just that you did not detangle the hair properly before continuing with the other process. So after detangling, the next thing we do is to wash. You wash with a shampoo. I really want to say this, and I need you to hear me. Like, I need you to stop whatever it is you're doing and listen to this point. You see these hair products, right? From your conditioners to your shampoos to your treatment products to, yeah, basically these three. You necessarily need shampoos or products that are specifically designed for these types of wigs. Let me explain. If you are revamping a colored hair, it's not the same kind of shampoo you use for natural colored hairs that you use for it. The reason is that most times, if you don't use specific shampoos, you end up washing away that color. Remember, it is colored. It has been processed, chemically processed. It's chemicals that enables that color to change from whatever color it originally was to that color that you currently have. Nobody, I haven't seen anybody that just comes with a natural pink hair, for example, okay? So always know that it is chemicals, and these products are also formulated using chemicals. So if you do not use the right kind of formulas that are designed for these wigs, you end up making a mess. Okay, you end up really making a mess. So you really need to know what kind of products are dedicated to washing or revamping colored ones and then natural ones. And you also have products that helps you to retain the color, because it doesn't make sense that somebody gives you a hair bright pink to revamp and then it's returning to them and it's looking like a pale pink, right? You have some explaining to do. So now you have your conditioner, you have your treatment. Treatments are products that you use to treat the hair. Remember when we talked about this, when we said the wig revamp process, and I was like, if you need that bone straight, smooth, silky texture, this procedure is not going to give you that. This is the difference. The treatment, the product you use in treating this wig is what makes the difference. You would understand as we move on. Then styling. Styling is basically when you finish cooking your food now, you got to serve and it got to be clean, right? People should be able to eat with their eyes first before they are able to put the food in the mouth. So at least even if you're not a pro, you should learn the basics, as simple as just laying the edges, right? Like combing it, making it smooth, making it have this fine. Let them get it out of their bag and like, wow, I love this. I can't wait to put it on. They should have that kind of feeling, okay? So now we're in module 3, the marketing and the selling to get our first 100K. My dear, it's not just theory work, like just theory. Sorry about the silence. It's not just theory work. It's really talk and do. You see this thing called marketing, bar. You really need to be talking. Like you can't just say, oh, I do this, I do this. There's a lot of work, and to be honest, posting is not marketing. For all of you that are just going to go to your WhatsApp now and just post on your status and say, hey, I revamp wigs. That's not marketing. Yes, it's good. You're putting yourself in the faces of people who get to see you every day. It's nice, but you need more than that. Okay. So we're going in this module 3, we are going to be looking at creating and marketing your offer. How do you sell in a saturated market space? How do you make your first 100K in 1 month revamping wigs, right? Creating your marketing offer. Now, there's a mistake we all make. I will give you an example. Let me tell you a story. When I started, I sell wigs. For those of you who do not know, I sell wigs. When I started, I was like, I felt like natural colored wigs should be every lady's go-to, you know. I was like, no, people will not like colored wigs. People will buy more of black wigs because it's versatile. You can wear it to anywhere. You can wear it with any kind of clothing. I failed to understand that it's not about me. The business really is not about you. I know that you have your passion, you have your agenda, but you are actually looking to serve people, correct? You're not starting that business for yourself. Like, you are supposed to be solving a problem. That's the goal. Solving a problem. Would you solve a problem that somebody doesn't have? No, you have to solve something that is bothering people, which is why it's called solving a problem in the first place. So you really need to first of all focus on what your desired market wants. If you say you are targeting students, you need to ask yourself, what do they want? For one, majority of students are going to be tilting towards using hair blends more. Why? Because they are students, they've not started earning an income, and they have to manage the upkeep they have with feeding, taking care of themselves, their basic things in school, and then still trying to look good. That's a whole lot, right? Great. And then let's not even talk about eating. Okay, so yeah, and if you're going to do that, if you want to focus on them, you really need to start thinking, what kind of products will be good for them? Okay, how do I market to them? How do they think? How do they reason? How can I show myself to them? You really need to think about, what problems do these people want? Are they looking at, are you coming to tell them that you're using the best product that is sold 100K to revamp their hair, and then you want to charge them 50,000? Excuse me, it's not going to work. Nobody's going to pay that amount of money, right? Great. So another thing you're going to look at is, you're going to need to create detailed or specific targeting. If you've ever run ads on Facebook, you're going to be familiar with the word. You may not understand it, but detailed targeting means you need to be specific. You know, when they say hit the nail on the head, if you want to sell to, you can't sell to all women. You can't come and say, I'm revamping wigs for all women. Trust me, I know that there's a tendency for you to say every wig needs a revamp, but you really need to choose your class or people you want to associate with or serve. The reason is so that you can speak in their language. You cannot be speaking in the language of everybody at the same time. So usually, every business typically has at least 2 target audience or 2 target market potentials, right? So you could say, I want to talk to students. Students are in different cadres, for God's sake. You have students that are the big students, right? Those who have the money, they are well to, right? Senior year or final year students are very different from freshers. Like, you know, they're very different from freshers. So if I'm going to create an offer and I really want to get freshers, I'm not just going to say, hi, revamp your week for as low as 200. Sorry, I said 200, for as low as 2K. That's not what I'm going to say. If I want to really get the attention of the freshers, I'm going to say, if you are a fresher or you just entered the university, this post is for you. Or 2,000 naira for all newly admitted students or for all first year students. Now, you see, if I'm in second year, I'm going to work up pass, you know, consign me. But you see, you're able to get better leads, better potential leads. In fact, you even make more, because now these people feel like you're talking to me. You know, that feeling when you go to church and your priest or your pastor is preaching the word, and it feels like, this guy is just telling me what happened to me yesterday, and it's making sense, and you're going, and you're nodding your head. You know, that kind of experience. That is what happens when you create a badass marketing offer. Okay. Then another thing you're going to need to do is to focus on their vanity matrix. Now you've chosen the people you want to talk to, my dear. Use their language. People buy tomatoes and rice because they necessarily have to eat. Let's be honest. Wigs are not things that, if you don't have, you cannot survive. I mean, God created every human being with hairs on their head. And if for some reason medically you do not have them, people still look beautiful. I mean, for God's sake, people still go and cut their beautifully given hair by God to be on low cut, right? So, we're still as beautiful, irrespective of how we choose to look like. But the point I'm trying to make is wig is not something that is a necessity, quote unquote, right? But um you need it to be able to look like a certain in a certain way. You need it to be able to draw a certain kind of attention. You need it to be able to project a certain kind of appearance or a certain kind of personality. So you need to speak to those people. I made a post yesterday on my stories and I was like, um wigs to wear on a date night. Now, why? Now, you see, when you read that, what comes to your mind is, date night. You begin to imagine. Now, I just say date night, but most people would think, I'm gonna wow this guy when he invites me tomorrow, or for this date I have tomorrow, or my meeting, my outing with the girls, or something. The goal is to, when you come in, the people who are seeing you should go, their jaw should drop. They should be like, oh my God, that is what vanity metrics is. It's like you are slaying. When that word rings, slay, my dear, this is where it is coming from. So your offer needs to be able to speak to the particular vanity matrix or metrics of the people that you are interested in talking to. Okay, you need to be very clear with your message. And what I mean by this is, you see the way from the beginning of this webinar, I said this is what to expect from me. So at the end of the webinar, you're going to be evaluating, was I able to deliver on this? Yes or no. So you need to say, if, for example, you say, if you use ABC, you will be able to get XYZ. That is how clear your message is supposed to be. And that is how you make an what is the word? And irresistible offer. Okay, so moving on. How do you sell in a saturated market space? Honestly, one word I'm going to say to you is your personality. Your personality is going to help you sell. I personally don't know how to dance, but I know how to express myself in my words. I know how to put myself in people's shoes, and we do it all differently. Somebody else could do the same thing I do, but we do it differently. It's the reason why there's so many people who are doing the same thing, but you prefer one person over the other. Personality. So as much as I'm going to tell you, look at what people in your space are doing and try to know what the trend is, pick the trend and put you into the trend, right? Don't pick somebody else. Okay, I don't know if this makes sense. The best way for me to explain how to sell in a saturated market is to put yourselves in the shoes of those people. Ask yourself, if I am selling this business to me, if I'm creating this offer for me, will I buy it? What's going to help me buy it? Another thing that helps me stand out in a saturated market is my education. Trust me, I have I have an I have a thing for educating. I have a thing for wanting to teach people. And it's so funny because most times we actually think that people know these things, right? For example, I once had a customer who got me her wig, and she didn't cut out, after wigging your hair, that closure side, you still have to cut out the cap so that the net can be exposed and it looks like the hair is growing out of your scalp. She didn't have it cut out. And I was like, why don't you have this cut out? She said, she's always worn it like this. So I said, no, if you don't cut this out, this lace is not gonna slip, it's not going to slay, it's not going to be snatched. And as soon as I cut it out and she wore it, she was like, oh my God, no wonder this thing is never flat. I'm always wondering why other people's own is flat. See, that little thing I just did for her is enough. And I would never think that people don't know that. I would never come online or live to talk about that. In my mind, it's common sense. Everybody should be able to do that. So I educate and I try to put myself. If this were a video, you would actually see me moving my hands around and yada yada yada, right? So look at yourself. If you want to really stand out, you really need to go inward. Look at the people you want to serve. How do they like to be served? You really need to sit down and ask that question. Ask yourself, if I am these people and they serve me like this, will I buy it? That's the best way to stand out in a saturated space. But if this is not enough for you, I actually have a coaching class, a coaching session. It's just, I only take in a selected few because it's coaching, meaning I should be able to hold your hands from inception to when you are grown up and you say, oh, Mom, I don't need you anymore, right? So, but please let me know in the comment section if you would like to know more about this, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you and guide you, making your first 100K in 1 month. You're not going to make this 100K from one client, or you could. You could be lucky, right? The best way I can explain this to you is to distribute or focus on other channels that are also bringing money. What do I mean? Many of us just know social media. Oh, I started a Wig Revamp business. So I post it on Facebook, I post on Instagram, I post on WhatsApp, right? And that is all. There are other places. Have you heard of Gigi? If you haven't, I'm here to introduce Gigi to you. In Gigi, there are places, there's a space for services. Believe me, that space is rocking. People, especially if you are in Lagos State, people are looking for convenience. Go and put out your offer there. Tell them that you revamp wigs for so amount. Remember, your offer has to be irresistible. So think about how to create an offer, excuse me, that makes sense, that when they see it, they want to take action. The audience you are targeting wants to take action. Okay. You're going to make your first 100K by sitting down and asking yourself, okay, how many wigs do I need to sell? Or, sorry, how many wigs do I need to revamp in a month to be able to get 100K? Meaning you're going to ask yourself, how much do I want to charge? Do I want to charge for this service? You're going to, a lot of things come into play: where you live, right? And of course, you're just starting out. Even if you live in whatever that place is, you're just starting out. You need people. People need the reason to trust you. They need to know, why should I bet my money on you, right? I mean, everybody sweats for their money, and you can't blame them, right? So you're going to sit down and ask yourself, you're going to do the work. Every day you're going to preach. When you do your work, you're going to post it out there. No, we're not going to sit down inside and wait for somebody to sing our praise. We're going to come outside and clap our own hands and say, hey, people of God, oh, see what my hands did. We're going to be doing that. And you see, one thing that's helped me in my business, I'm going to tell you the truth, is referrals. I get a lot of referrals that it makes me wonder, your marketing is so bad. True, my marketing is not like dope, because I get a lot of referrals. And I'm busy trying to work on the work that my customers from referrals have given to me. Okay. So you're going to sit down. You're not going, when you go out there, you're going to tell people, I do this. So there's an activity I do in my um in my community, my wig community or education community. We call it, one new person must know what I do every day. If you do this and you sit down and say, so in a month I need to serve, let's say, 10 people. How do I get 10 people now to pay me 5,000 naira for revamping? There's going to be a reason why you're going to first of all give them a reason why they should pay you 5K. Because trust me, you see that method I shared with you people on how to revamp wig, try that technique, Sister, if it does not give you the result I said it should, please come back in the comment section and tell me, Pama, this result you said it to give, or it did not give, because I'm going to learn from it. And I also want you to be able to know that anything is possible. People can pay you what you want them to pay you, but you have to give them a reason to pay you that amount. Does that make sense? So that's how to make your first 100K. You need to sit down and do the math. How much do I want to charge for this service? If you want to be charging 3,000 naira, if you want to be charging 5K, if you want to be charging 10K, whatever the amount you want to charge is up to you. And you also have to consider your locality, consider the kind of people you want to serve, and ask yourself, are they able to pay you that? Okay. Then you ask yourself, how many people do I need to serve within this 30-day period to be able to achieve 100K? That is how to make your first 100K in 1 month. Okay. Now, how do I get to watch the video for the hands-on experience? So that's a video, which is why you see me just bragging, talking about my what's it called, my revamp technique. It's not a bluff. There's actually a video, and it's only accessible to people who have paid for it. I am sorry this is paid. However, I have an offer for you. It's a sweet offer, believe me. You're not going to believe this, but it is true. I know they say all that glitters is not gold. This one glitters and it is gold. Pay any amount you want to access the Wig Revamp Mastery Class hands-on experience. You might say to yourself, this lady, she don't know anything. Why is she doing this? So people are not going to pay. Truth is, if you don't pay, you're not going to be able to have access to it. Only people who pay will access it. And one thing I can assure you is that by the time you're done watching their video, everything you knew about Wig Revamp is gonna change. And it's going to inspire you to be creative. It's going to inspire you to want to do more. It's going to inspire you to look out for better ways of doing things. And I'll tell you one thing I do. I'm constantly looking for ways to improve. The formula I have now is the best as a date, but trust me, I'm constantly looking at what better products are there. What products can I use to achieve what I do with two products? You know. So yeah, you're going to ask me also, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want as many people to be able to make money for themselves. I'm doing this because this is something that really drives me. I love to know that there's a winning community. I love to know that I can get 100 hairs to revamp, and I can just call all of you guys and say, okay, you handle 10, you handle 20, you handle 5, and I distribute it like that. I actually am on a course to educating people into things that has to do with hair, especially revamping, styling, making of wigs, to be able to make money for themselves, because honestly the hair industry is a gold mine, and you should be ready rather to be able to collect your own share of the gold. Okay, payment details will be in the description box below, and I would also share it in the group channel where we all belong. Okay, so this is let's see, this is supposed to play. Okay, sorry. Oh dear, this was supposed to be a video. It was a video I recorded because I wanted you to see people who have taken this class. You guys are the third set of people. There's been cohorts 1, there's been cohorts 2. But this is okay, this is the first one. Just read it. She said you gained a follow because this is the best I have watched so far. To think I'm paid to learn this, but guess what? It's actually not the same like those. I don't know what the remaining. I can't remember what is written there, but honestly, you're going to gain your money's worth. You're going to gain value. Okay, that's all I can say to you. How do you get started? You're going to first of all start with the people who know you and the people you know. So you're going to start with your friends, you're going to start with your siblings, you're going to start with your mother, you're going to start with yourself. If you have wigs, you're going to revamp your own wig first, and you're going to post it. Tell us a story. Yeah, that's another thing that helps you stand out in a saturated market, telling your story. There's a lady on TikTok. She makes a story of a day in my life. If you check all the a day in my life kind of videos you see, it's as if everybody that does a day in their life lives in a posh building, right? She lives in a one-bedroom apartment. She has the regular gas burner, small what is it called? Small 3 kg gas burner. Her house is the typical way how it's natural. And this lady has millions of followers because she is so real. So you really need to tell your story. Don't say my background is not fine. My house is not fine. We want to see it. We want to work with you. We want to see you grow. People are going to appreciate that more than always trying to look for going to pay money to go to a particular place to do some fantastic da da da. Sometimes people really want to associate with you, people want to connect with you, and the best way for people to connect with you is to see you being you, knowing that I stay in a one-room apartment and this lady also stays in a one-room apartment. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not going to use this to judge me saying you must live in a one-room apartment. No, I'm not saying you must live in a one-room apartment, but if you want to attract certain kind of people to you, you gotta look like them, or at least you got to start from where you are. Okay, I know that we all want to serve the high and mighty, but hey, even the high and mighty started from somewhere, and it's okay. Enjoy your journey, but start it anyway, right? You're going to also build on testimonials with before and after transformations. What does this mean? When you do your wigs, you could just tell your siblings, okay, give me your hair, let me do it for you for free. Or call a couple of ladies, tell them, bring your wigs, I will revamp this wig for you, right? Of course they've never seen you do this before, but you need them to know that you can do this. And then you tell them, I will do this for you, I only ask for one thing, don't pay me, but let me know your honest review after I have done the job. You're going to use those testimonials to now start building. Another thing you're going to need to do is to build and grow influence. Since you're not going to go in this industry if you're not able to build influence. if you're not able to say A and everybody is like B, do you understand? So meaning, as much as you want people to give you their jobs, you need to be valuable, you need to invest valuable content in the lives of people as well. You need to be able to give back. I'm here right now talking to you. I really don't know how far this video is going to go, but I can tell you that anybody who comes in contact with this video is my way of reaching out to that person. And if the person is kind enough to leave a comment, I get to know, wow, Gladys left a comment and she's from Cameroon. That's the beauty of connecting with people. And with that, I'm able to grow influence. If I do this long enough, and tomorrow you see me on TV and I'm like, hi, I'm Palmer, you're going to be able to relate, oh, that's Palmer, right? Because I did not just keep all this knowledge in my head in the corner of my house thinking, who is going to see me? We all have to start from somewhere and we need to grow and build it gradually. Okay, you might say, influence, I have to go for networking. No, start from your neighborhood, start from your church, start from your organizations or societies you belong to in church, start from school, your classmates. That's how you're going to grow. Okay. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section and I will respond to all of them. Really, the smile you see there is truly genuine because I'm truly happy. I can't wait to see what you're able to do with this. I encourage you to pay an amount that you truly want to pay, you think is worth learning a course on this, like how to really revamp this from start to finish. There, I showed you, you're going to see the bow, you're going to see how I do it, you're going to see how I applied my shampoo, the quantity of shampoo I used, you're going to see all the names of products I used. I also have a follow-up video that is free, you're not paying for it, of alternative products you can use, cheap products based on your region. It's really value packed and I really encourage you to do it. Plus, it's an offer I'm making to you. I mean, that's the nicest offer I could ever make to you. Pay whatever you want, okay? Find me on social medias. On my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you'd find me at Pama Beauty Hair. My website, pamahair.com, but there I sell only wigs, right? On YouTube, you can find me here on Pama as Pama Beauty Hair. If you're really kind enough, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share with your friends. This is my contact if you need to reach me for anything. This is my WhatsApp number. I'm always available. If you need to collaborate with me, you can send me an email, okay? Thank you so much, and I hope this has really impacted your life. Until next time, take care, keep winning. I'm rooting for you always, always.